Happy New Year, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you're watching me. Good day. I hope this year has begun very well and very interesting. Today, I want us to just talk and have a story. Actually, let me share a story. A story about me. People have been longing to hear anything about me. So today I've decided to talk a little about me. When I was growing up, let me say, when I was in Form 1, I used to have this cousin of mine who used to be sick. And so in the evenings, I used to take him to the hospitals in town, that is in Nairobi town. Something I enjoyed doing a lot. Not that I enjoyed him being sick, but I enjoyed taking him to the hospital. Because one of the reasons, and the best reason, was when I used to take him to the hospital, the parents would end up taking us to very beautiful, these big hotels in Nairobi town. And one thing I used to envy and admire so much is the fact that I loved how waiters would serve us, how they're dressed, how they do their work, how they would do like catwalking. And I really envied that. So I started changing my thoughts of like when I grow up, I would like to work in a hotel, I would like to work in a restaurant. But basically big hotels, that was my dream. And I held to that dream till when I finished my 4th form. And by God's grace, I went and studied hotel for 3 years. After that, I got a job in Nairobi. And to me, the job was not pleasing. I really didn't like it because I would work as a chef, sometimes I would work as a waitress, and strictly what I wanted was to be a waitress. Now, here comes an issue which I'm always not happy with, especially for those people who hire people just for the sake of hiring them. I believe for those people who don't know, being a waitress is a profession like any other profession. Somebody goes to college, studies it, take time, finish the academics, and come to the industry to work. But you find there are some organizations who hire people who are not even trained, who are not even qualified. And instead of even making an effort of taking them to refresher courses or any other course so that they can study what is related with what they are doing, they're being hired for lower pay. Especially in my country, that is the truth. Let me go back a little bit. Now, after finishing my career and I joined the hotel industry, I wasn't happy until I had to change the profession because the pay was too low. It wasn't even enough as a bus fare to take me to my workplace from where I was staying. So I found it a bit difficult and I ended up working again in an industry, an organization which was making polythene papers. I really enjoyed that work. Once was a machine operator. No, I started with measuring what they make those polythene papers they were called master batch. So I would weigh them and give them to the people who make the rolls out of it. And they came in different colors: green, black, blue, yellow. That is where I started. Then after that one, it was like I got promoted and I was trained on how to operate no, I didn't go to the machine. I actually ended up operating a computer. When they first brought the computers in the organization and they asked me if I know how to operate the computers, I told them yes. Trust me, I didn't even know where I would start, like where to start, how to shut the computer down and any other thing. But confidently, I told them, yes, I know. And after a few minutes, I was shown on how to do ABCD, which I did. I actually did it. And after that one, I became so perfect and I knew what I was supposed to do, and it was so easy for me. Then one day I did a blunder, just a small slight blunder. Trust me, working with Asians. Hey, God Almighty. When I did a small blunder, I was told, by then I'd already been promoted to be a supervisor. But now I was told to leave the computer and go to operate a machine. So being that I was a supervisor, I'd already known how to operate a machine. I'd known what it means to do what in the machine. I knew when the blades were not sharp and when the blades were sharp. And it was so perfect for me. At times, I would end up reaching my target before time, like even 2 hours before time. That is when I am in day shift. When I'm in the night shift, I would... Wow, beautiful animals. When I was in the night shift, I would... Let me draw close to them. I would meet my target. By midnight, I'm done with my production because I'd already known everything about the machine. So one night, one of the supervisors, the Asian supervisors, came in and found that I'd already reached my target. I'd switched off my machine. I'd even turned the blade upside down. And it scared him so much. And he said, if I continue operating the machines, I will teach people bad habits, and therefore people will be meeting their targets, and especially at night, by midnight they are done and they are going, all will be asleep. Yet the machines are supposed to operate the whole night. Now, when he came in, after having realized that, the next day I was told never to operate a machine again. So I was taken back to be a supervisor, which I really enjoyed doing a lot. I did enjoy doing the work. And as usual, Asians don't give you warning, especially when they're dismissing you from work. So one day I went to work and I was told to go back home and wait until I be called back, which I just knew my work is finished. That is when I again started tamarking, looking for jobs here and there. After, let me say, 5 months of searching for a job and did not get one, I ended up applying for a job somewhere in Naivasha, and I got the job. Got the job as a waitress, which I did for quite a long period of time, more than 10 years, and the work was not easy. Now, this is my story, and this is where I want to dwell into. When I was joining the hotel industry. I really loved how how those waiters would serve the clergy people. I was even imagining that one day I'll serve the president, or these senior people in the government, or senior people from outside like the whites. And truth be told, they all came to pass. At some point, I served one of the Kenyan presidents. At some point, I served some of the ministers. At some point, I served these big politicians. And it was amazing. I used just to enjoy serving them just so much. It was a job I really loved with all my heart, and I would do it like if I would give it my all. And I will do my best and correct myself if I blunder. I know next time I'll not do this. Being a waitress is not an easy thing as people think. It has challenges, it has ups and downs. I remember one day I was serving guests who were having party. And funnily enough, these guests kept me, one of them, just one, kept me awake until 4:30 in the morning. And by 6 in the morning, I'm supposed to be reporting to work. So that day, trust me, I did not sleep at all. And when I tried complaining about it, sometimes even you supervisors and bosses who work in the hotel industry, you should understand your waiters. What sometimes they go through, it is not easy. Some of them pay bills back, what they did not even consume or what they did not even eat. But you force them to pay back because somebody ran away with the bill, which once happened to me when I was on my attachment. And I was forced to pay. Then after paying, I left the place. Trust me, some of the supervisors would like to mistreat you and mislead you in everything that you plan to do. But God is in control of everything. Now, as I was saying, I achieved all I wanted to do. I managed to get what I wanted to get. But eventually one day when I sat down and thought about my life, and I was asking myself so many questions, and I was thinking if I will do this work for the rest of my life or for the time until I retire, and I told myself no. It is a career which is not even considered as a career. It is a career which is low paying. It is a career which many people like. You finish a college and you are tamarking, and that is when you get it, you start there because you want something to keep you going. You don't just want to be idle at home doing nothing. So I started praying and crying to God and telling God I don't want to do this profession for the rest of my life, because when I look at the organization which I was working, other departments, they would pay well. They were paid well. But the multitude of the work we used to do as a waitress was just too much. You don't even have time to sit down. You don't even have time. You are on tour, like moving up and down. At some point you even run. And I was like, age is catching up, and I don't need to do this for the rest of my life. So when I prayed and talked to God, I asked God, is there something else that I can do? Is there something else that is interesting to me? Is there anything else that I can do and feel happy and not get this much tired? As for me, I felt like working as a waitress is like a curse at some point, because some people are so abusive, especially when you're serving a man who has come with a woman. in a hotel or a bar, Jesus Christ, you will cry, you will frown, you will be frustrated, you will be called names, you will be abused at some time. God, help those people who still work as waiters in the hotel industry. Waiters are looked down on. People think when you work in a hotel as a waitress, you are, I don't know, not even a low class. It's, even our house helps are respected in our homes. Somebody will just come and shout, "You, come and clear this." And you're still serving another customer and they don't even care. Waiters are frustrated in some places. But I thank God where I got the work, it wasn't that much frustrating. The frustration was little, but sometimes I wish our bosses could understand what we go through, and especially when you are told that customer is always right. That times customers are wrong and our bosses keep on insisting that they are right. You see, it is a struggle sometimes for a waitress. It is a battle sometimes for a waitress, but people don't just understand. I'll continue with the story next time, so watch out for part 2 coming soon. But I hope you enjoyed the story and I hope you listened to me carefully. So if you always go to hotel to dine and you always go with your husband, or you always go with your wife, or you always go with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, please stop mistreating waiters. Stop acting like if you are a boss to them. Stop bullying them. Stop calling them names. Just pay your bills. Don't run away with the bills. Pay the bills because you're putting them in hard situations. And sometimes they don't know how to come out of it. I'm happy you listened to me. And in case you have any comment, if you have been a waiter, a waitress before, or you are still a waitress somewhere and you've listened to this video, please give a comment below. And I request you subscribe to my channel and watch more videos to come this year. I pray that may God bless you. I pray that may God watch over you. I pray that may this year be successful to you. And I pray that may everything you desire come to pass. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.